back to the T1 Fitness channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like this video, share this video with your family and friends, and subscribe to my channel to make sure you get all the uploads whenever new videos come out. Alright, so today we're going to get into video number 2 of the 4-part series that we're doing about upper-lower split, and we're going to be talking about lower body day number 1. So just like upper body, there's going to be exercises that I've talked about here that I'm incorporating into this new workout plan, as well as there's going to be a nice even mixture of exercises that I've personally never done before and ones that I've never talked about on this channel before. So we're going to get into that. So the first exercise we're going to be talking about are deadlifts. I've talked about deadlifts before on this channel, doing the hex bar version of it, and I did the actual standard bar version this time. So the differences between the two are when you're doing the hex bar, you are pretty much trapped in a box and you can only really keep your form to about shoulder width apart. And so whenever you're doing the standard bar, you can actually spread your legs out a little bit farther. You can actually also have a different grip on the bar. You can do overhand, you can do underhand, you can do overhand, underhand. But with the hex bar, you're pretty much stuck doing overhand. So whenever I'm doing the standard bar deadlifts, I try to kind of see which one I like better. Most of the time I do overhand, underhand, but I have done the overhand, which with the overhand, your grip is going to have to definitely be on point, because if you slip, that bar is going to just drop. So whenever you're doing overhand, underhand, you kind of have that safety of having the other hand holding on to the other side of the bar just in case it starts to slip, and you can kind of readjust. Whenever I've done this exercise overhanded, I at times will have to put the weight down and then readjust my hands, so I like doing overhand, underhand. It's kind of a personal preference. I know some people hate overhand, some people don't like doing overhand, underhand. Some people do underhand. And I mean, it's not very common, but like I said, it's kind of depending on what you like and how you feel comfortable putting in your hand placement. So with this exercise, you want to make sure that you bend your knees, but not too far, but also at the same time, you want to make sure that you poke your butt out like you're about to sit down on a bench, and then go all the way down. Make sure the weight touches the floor, and then come back up to about waist high, and then repeat over and over. So with this exercise with a straight bar, I did 3 sets of about 8 to 10 reps, and I did that because like in my other exercises for upper body, I was progressively going up in weight, and so to accommodate that, I kind of lowered the reps in order to ensure that I can do more weight without overworking my muscles and straining myself. So this exercise, whenever you're doing it, you want to make sure that you have a good grip. You want to make sure that your form, just like in every other exercise, is good, but also at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not overworking and struggling so much with the weight. So one of the new exercises that I've implemented into this workout plan are the seated calf raises. So I've done the standing calf raise, which is a variation of this exercise. You're still working your calves, obviously, but of course you're actually in a seated position this time. I like doing this exercise personally because I feel as though you get a deeper burn in your calves than when you're doing the standing calf raises. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Some people may feel differently. I like doing the seated calf raises. But at the same time, whenever you're doing this exercise, you want to make sure that when you're in the seated position, you're firmly into the seat, and whenever you're lifting your calves up, you want to make sure that there isn't another muscle group that's getting worked, because your main focus on this exercise is working your calves. You shouldn't have any other muscle groups really being affected by this exercise, because when you're in the seated position, you're really only moving and exercising your feet and your calves. So I typically do 4 sets of this exercise, and I do from 20 to 25 reps. I try to maintain that just because of the simple fact that about the 22nd rep most of the time I really feel that kind of burn, and it might be different for you, and it might just be because of the weight that I'm doing, but I try to get to that range every time. Sometimes I get right at 20, sometimes I get closer to 25, and that kind of helps me gauge where I'm at with that weight. So in the beginning sets, I kind of hit that 25 mark and got over that pretty consistently. So I tried to progressively add more weight, but not necessarily 5 to 10 pounds. If I kept hitting that 25, I tried to add on maybe 10 to 15 pounds just to kind of get in the middle to where I'm at that 22 to 23 rep range, because I feel like that's the optimum level for me to really see a lot of muscle growth and really hit that muscle hypertrophy. So I like this exercise. You should implement this exercise into your workout plan, just because it's a variation. It's a different way to work your calf muscles other than doing the standing calf raises, and I just believe that it's really important to overall hypertrophy. So depending on who you are, this next exercise that I'm doing is either something you like or something that you try to avoid or something that people have told you to avoid, but leg extensions. So I like doing leg extensions because it really works your hamstrings very specifically, because when you're doing other exercises like squat, leg press, you are working those other leg muscles to lift the weight. When you're doing leg extensions, it's solely that muscle group, and you can really feel it every time you extend your legs and you feel that tightness. I know I've talked about leg extensions before on this channel, and of course I implemented in this new workout plan because I do believe that it works, and it is very, very helpful to overall leg muscle growth. And just because you can feel the muscle constriction whenever you're doing that exercise, and after you're doing that exercise you can really feel it. I know that I do. Every time I do this exercise, after I'm done, I feel like my legs are spaghetti noodles afterwards, and that to me is the main reason why I do it, just because of how I feel afterwards. I really feel that I've done work afterwards. So I typically do 3 to 4 sets each time, about 10 to 12 reps each time. I do the warm-up set, and then I do my 3 to 4 extra sets, and just like with the other exercise, I try to progressively go up in weight every time. And by doing that, I really feel the burn as it goes through. But the key to this exercise, as well as some of the other exercise that I will talk about, is I take about a minute to a minute and a half rest, and that really kind of gives my muscles some time to relax and get some time for that lactic acid that builds up to kind of dissipate, and then you're able to do more reps, and you kind of, after that minute to a minute and a half, you really feel like you're lifting with fresh legs on your 3rd set. So I think that in this exercise especially, the rest periods that I take are super, super important. Another exercise I've talked about on this channel is the leg press. I like doing the leg press because it helps you in other workouts like the barbell squat. So whenever you're doing the leg press, you want to make sure your feet are firmly set on the platform, as well as whenever you're getting the bend in your knee, you want to make sure you can feel the tightness in your hamstrings and your quads. And then whenever you're extending back out, you can also want to feel that tightness as well. My rule of thumb is that you almost want to touch your knee to your chin, not quite getting that deep, but you want to try as hard as you can to get to that point. But I've seen other people kind of do a variated version of it where they only get about a quarter to maybe like half deep in on the bend, but I've actually seen people go all the way down and literally touch their knees to their chest on that exercise. It honestly just depends on how what you want to accomplish in the set. So for this exercise, I typically do 4 sets of about 12 to 15 reps. I try to find a good basis to warm up on. Typically I do 2 plates, 2 45-pound plates on each side to kind of warm up. So whenever you're warming up for this exercise, you kind of want to do around 20 to 25 pounds less than what you really can do, just to kind of warm up, because the purpose of warming up is to kind of get your muscles ready for that and get your muscles working and getting prepared to do that motion more times, so you can kind of understand how the exercise is supposed to go. So I like this exercise, and I really think that it is a good way to build those muscle groups as well as help you in other leg workouts. The last workout we're going to be talking about is the Bulgarian split leg squat. I love doing this exercise. It's one of my favorite leg workouts. I enjoy doing this workout for my hamstrings, honestly, because of how it feels after each set. No matter what weight I typically use for it, it always gives me a very deep burn every time I get done doing it. So I definitely wanted to incorporate it in this new workout plan because I really felt the need to add something that is really gonna make me feel that like I've really pushed myself to the limit without doing so many sets, so many reps, things like that. But I tried to maintain the 3 sets for this one, as well as getting about 12 to 15 reps. But with this exercise, whenever I've started off, I typically start off with the 20-pound dumbbells, but I would start to feel tightness in my hamstrings around the 11th and 12th rep, and so I had to really push myself to get through the last 3 or 4 reps or whatever it is. So I really felt that this exercise was very, very important to have in my new workout plan, because although I still do leg curls and other hamstring exercises, this one is obviously my favorite by far, and I really just enjoy doing this exercise, and I really feel that I've worked that muscle out completely once I'm done doing this exercise. So whenever you're doing this exercise, you can do it on a bench. I've seen people do it on just any sort of platform. I've seen people use the Smith machine bar as a kind of platform to put rest their foot on. So whenever you're doing this exercise, you want to keep in mind that you want to do an equal number of reps on each leg, just to, of course, even it out. But you want to make sure you're getting down low enough to where you can feel that burn in your hamstrings when you're going down. You don't want to go too deep that you are unable to get back up, or to the point to where your muscles fatigue and you cop out quick. But you also don't want to cheat yourself and don't go deep enough. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough to where you can feel that burn but not overwork yourself. So that you got to keep that in mind whenever you're doing this exercise. Alright guys, so that's it for video 2 of the 4-part series I'm doing on upper and lower split. Hopefully you guys learned something about lower body workouts that you'll take with you to the gym and employ in your new workout plan. Also be on the lookout for video 3, which will be coming out soon, and that'll be upper body day 2, and it'll be going over upper body exercises, and hopefully you guys will learn something from that video. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel to know when the next upload comes out. Also, make sure you guys follow me on all social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and now I'm officially on TikTok. I will leave all of my social media information in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.